Rex was a dinosaur. A very average dinosaur. He had big dreams, a nice suit, and very tiny arms. Every single morning, Rex drove to work in his rock-powered car. Life was good. Until one day, the price of rock juice went up. Way up. Rex pulled up to the Meteor fuel station, like he did every week. He grabbed the pump, ready to fill his tank. Then he looked at the price sign. His tiny arms started shaking. His eyes went wide. He called his caveman friend Gary to come see. Gary laughed. Gary always laughed. Rex asked the same question you ask every time. Why is gas so expensive? Nobody at the station had an answer. The pterodactyl cashier just shrugged. So Rex decided to find out himself. This is that story. To understand why gas is expensive, we need to go back. Way back. Like, 66 million years back. Gas, or gasoline, comes from ancient dead things. Decomposed plants, tiny sea creatures, and organic matter. All of it buried underground for millions of years, under enormous heat and pressure. We call it fossil fuel. Because it literally is fossils. Rex had no idea he was burning his own ancestors. Every time he filled his tank, he was paying for the compressed remains of his great-great-great-grandparents. This is either the darkest joke in history, or the most efficient recycling program ever invented. Rex chose not to think about it too hard. Getting gas into Rex's car is not simple. Not at all. First, someone has to find the oil underground. That takes enormous machines and a lot of meteor money. Then they drill into the earth and pump it out. Then it travels across the world in giant ships or pipelines. Then it gets refined, which means cooked and processed into actual gasoline. Then it gets trucked to the station. Then Rex pays for all of that. Every single step. Every dinosaur who touches that oil before Rex wants a cut. The drilling company. The shipping company. The refinery. The trucking company. The gas station. And the government. Always the government. Each one adds to the final price Rex sees on that sign. Rex's fuel is not expensive because of one reason. It is expensive because of 12 reasons, stacked on top of each other. But the biggest reason gas prices move, up or down, is supply and demand. Supply means how much gas exists in the world right now. Demand means how many dinosaurs want to buy it right now. When supply goes down, or demand goes up, the price goes up. When supply goes up, or demand goes down, the price goes down. That is the whole game. Everything else is just details. Now meet the most powerful dinosaurs in the world. The Meteor Cartel. In real life, they are called OPEC. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. They are a group of countries that control most of the world's oil supply. Think of them as a very powerful club, where membership means you sit on a giant underground lake of dinosaur juice. What they decide changes the price at Rex's gas station. Every single time. The Meteor Cartel meets regularly. Big table, fancy chairs, very serious faces. They decide how much oil each member country is allowed to produce and sell. If they want prices to go up, they cut production. Less oil in the market means higher prices. If they want prices to go down, they increase production. More oil means lower prices. Rex has no vote in this meeting. Gary the caveman has no vote either. They just pay. In 1973, the Meteor Cartel got angry at certain countries for supporting their enemies in a war. So they stopped selling oil to those countries. Completely. Overnight, gas prices in the United States went up by nearly 400%. People waited in line for hours just to fill their tanks. Rex's grandfather cried at the pump that day. The caveman behind him in line laughed. As always. Wars are also very bad for gas prices. This one is not a joke. When two countries that produce or transport oil go to war, the entire system gets nervous. Shipping routes get blocked. Pipelines get threatened. Refineries shut down. Even the threat of conflict, before anything actually happens, makes prices spike. The market does not wait for things to go wrong. It panics in advance. In 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. Russia is one of the biggest oil producers in the world. Western countries responded with sanctions. They stopped buying Russian oil. But the world still needed that oil. So everyone scrambled to find it somewhere else. Less supply, same demand. Price goes up. Way up. Rex filled his tank that month and needed 3 deep breaths afterward. Here is one that people do not talk about enough. Refinery capacity. Even if there is plenty of oil in the ground, you still need refineries to process it. Refineries are massive, expensive facilities. Building new ones takes years and billions of meteors. When existing refineries break down, get hit by storms, or need maintenance, capacity drops. Less refined gasoline in the market means higher prices. Even if the raw oil is just sitting there, waiting. Every hurricane season, refineries along the Gulf Coast hold their breath. A major storm can shut down multiple refineries at the same time. In 2005, Hurricane Katrina knocked out a massive portion of American refining capacity. Gas prices jumped almost immediately, across the entire country. Rex lived far from any coast. He still paid more. That is how connected this market is. Gas prices also go up and down based on the time of year. This surprises most people. In summer, more dinosaurs drive. Road trips, vacations, everyone going somewhere at once. More demand, same or lower supply. Price goes up. In cold climates during winter, heating fuel competes with gasoline for refinery output. Also more expensive. Rex could not find a winning season. Not one. There is also something called summer blend gasoline. It is not a marketing trick. It is chemistry. In summer, refineries are required to produce a special fuel blend that evaporates less in the heat. This blend costs more to produce. So prices go up every spring, right before driving season begins. Then they come back down in fall, when refineries switch back to winter blend. Rex noticed this pattern every year. He just never knew why until now. Now we need to talk about a special kind of dinosaur. The speculator. Speculators do not actually use oil. They do not run refineries. They do not drive cars. They buy and sell contracts for future oil deliveries, betting on where prices will go. If speculators believe prices will rise, they buy large amounts of contracts. This drives up the current price. If they think prices will fall, they sell. And prices drop. Without a single barrel of oil actually moving. This happens in what is called the futures market. A place where oil that does not exist yet gets traded today. It sounds complicated because it is. Rex needed a very long nap after learning this. But here is what matters. Speculation can make price moves much larger in both directions. A real supply problem causes a 10% increase. Speculators panic and turn it into 20%. The market is emotional. Even when the dinosaurs in it claim to be completely rational. Here is a fact that genuinely broke Rex's tiny brain. Oil is priced in US dollars worldwide. Every country that buys oil must first obtain US dollars to pay for it. When the US dollar gets stronger, oil becomes more expensive for countries using other currencies. When the dollar gets weaker, it creates different ripple effects across global markets. Rex lived in a country with a different currency. The mood of the US dollar affected his gas price every single week. Inflation also plays a role. When the general price of everything goes up, gas goes up too. It costs more to pay the workers at the refinery. It costs more to maintain the delivery trucks. It costs more to operate the gas station itself. All of those costs get passed to Rex. Inflation alone does not cause gas prices to spike. But it pushes from every direction at once. Rex once bought a banana for 1 meteor. Now it costs 4. Gary the caveman blamed Rex personally. Taxes deserve their own moment because they are not a small part of the price. Not even close. In many countries, taxes represent between 20 and 50% of what you pay at the pump. Federal taxes, state taxes, local taxes, carbon taxes, environmental fees. Each one gets added before the final number reaches Rex. In many cases, the government earns more per gallon than the oil company. Rex found this deeply upsetting. If you have ever traveled internationally, you noticed gas prices are wildly different everywhere. In Venezuela, gas is almost free. The government subsidizes it using oil export revenue. In Norway, it is extremely expensive. Very high taxes fund very strong social programs. In the United States, it sits somewhere in the middle. Still enough to make Rex sweat. Same product. Same planet. Completely different prices. Because every government makes different choices. At this point, Rex had a theory. The oil companies were just being greedy. And sometimes, honestly, he was not entirely wrong. When prices spike and oil company profits hit record highs in the same quarter, that is not a coincidence. Companies do take advantage of market conditions to maximize their margins. They are not evil dinosaurs. They are just dinosaurs optimizing for profit. Which is legal. Which does not make Rex feel better. There is also the issue of market structure. Oil is not a perfectly competitive market. A small number of massive companies control refining, distribution, and retail in most regions. When one raises prices, others follow very quickly. When one lowers prices, others are slow to respond. Economists call this an oligopoly. Rex called it something else. Something Gary the caveman fully agreed with. Now here is the part where things get interesting. The future of this entire system is being disrupted. Electric vehicles do not need gasoline. They run on electricity. As more dinosaurs switch to electric, demand for gas will slowly but steadily decrease. Less demand means oil companies lose power. The meteor cartel becomes less relevant over time. Rex was very excited about this. He had just bought an electric rock. It was small and slow. But it was his. But the transition away from oil is not instant. It takes decades. And during that time, things get messy. Oil companies know their product has a limited future. So they invest less in new production. Less investment means less supply in the long term. Less supply means higher prices on the way out. Rex would not live to see full electrification. His grandchildren might. His great-grandchildren almost certainly would. Unless another meteor showed up first. Gary the caveman preferred not to think about that scenario. So why does gas go up in price? The honest answer is, all of the above, all at the same time. The meteor cartel cuts production. A war disrupts a shipping route. A hurricane shuts down a refinery. Speculators panic. The dollar moves. Summer arrives. Taxes go up. Inflation keeps creeping. None of these forces work alone. They all interact. They all push the number Rex sees on that sign. The pump does not lie. It is just adding up a very long list of problems happening simultaneously. Rex asked the most important question at the end. What can I actually do about this? The honest answer is, not much in the short term. He can drive less. He can carpool with another dinosaur. He can buy a more fuel-efficient car. He can support policies that invest in public transportation, so fewer dinosaurs need to drive at all. He can plan his trips better. Small things. But small things compound over time. Even for a dinosaur with very tiny arms. Rex went back to the Meteor fuel station the following week. The price was even higher. He pumped his gas quietly. He did not panic this time. He understood now. It was not random. It was a system. A broken, complicated, ancient system. Built on 66 million years of dead things, global politics, financial speculation, and very human decisions. Gary the caveman pulled up behind him and laughed at the price sign. Rex turned around. And for the first time, he explained exactly why that price was what it was. Gary stopped laughing. He had not expected that. Neither had Rex.